Hey, what's up everybody? Just got back from the gym. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this part of the video up first. I'm gonna upload my squats and deadlifts from today using the Inzer belts. First time I did it, I'm gonna give you some feedback on that video itself, but I also wanted to show you some of my post-workout meals, only because a lot of people ask, what do I do post-workout? I don't take shakes, I just like to eat whole food because I train fasted typically in most days, so by the time I get home from the gym, I'm really hungry. It's not really any benefit to train fasted, however, it's just more convenient for me because I train early in the morning, like at 5 a.m. If I wanted to eat beforehand and give myself time to digest food, I would have to get up a lot earlier or train later, and that would just really throw my time off. I also wanted to go ahead and show you the shirt that I wore today. You guys probably know who this is. If you don't, you probably didn't grow up in the 80s, but I wore this shirt to squat and deadlifts today. Kind of gave me that little mental edge, as stupid as that may sound, even though Crane got covered up by the Inzer belt, but I thought I'd show you. So as far as food goes, this is really around my typical breakfast. I also have my iPad out. I like to watch a lot of YouTube in the morning as I get ready. I find I've been watching more YouTube stuff than TV lately, and you guys have been putting out a ton of great videos. I've subscribed to a lot of you guys. As I mentioned, I watch your videos. I try to comment. A lot of time it gets flagged as spam, but I do watch it. So in the morning is an easy time to do that. But for breakfast, what I have here, and I'm sorry if the lighting's a little off, I have 1 serving of Raisin Bran with a cup of milk. I also have 4 whole eggs with 4 slices of Canadian bacon and a handful of spinach. I have some water over there to drop it down. You guys know how I feel about shaker cups. They're very useful, and I got my addiction under control. I also take some vitamins in the morning too. So just to show you guys what I take, some glucosamine and chondroitin. This is a Berkeley and Jensen brand, so BJ's brand. I like these a lot because they're USP certified. I'll do another video on vitamins, but I take 3 pills of this. I then take 1 multivitamin. I just started taking these again. I probably didn't take a vitamin for, I'd say 6 months or so. I try to get all my micros through whole food sources. And again, if you have a diverse diet, you're probably hitting most of them already, but this is a cheap enough option. Again, Berkeley and Jensen brand. And then finally, I do take some omega-3 pills. This brand is just something someone sent me for free. Typically, I use the Berkeley and Jensen brand for this as well. I'll do a video on omega-3s. I'll do another video on multivitamins, and I'll probably do a video on this for joint support. As far as the macros on this meal go, you guys know I'm a big fan of MyFitnessPal, so I'm going to try to go ahead and show you exactly what I use here. So here I have everything inputted, and it's probably going to be hard to see what this is. This camera is not really great on macro modes and focusing, but if you can't read that, so this meal that I just showed you is 632 calories, 61 carbs, 22 grams of fat, and 50 grams of protein. This is around typically what I try to do. If you guys are interested in following along my diet and anything that I'm doing, you can always find me on MyFitnessPal. My username up there is BrandCamFitness. To give you guys an idea of what my current macros are, I get that question a lot. These aren't set in stone, but this is generally what I try to hit. So about 2,800 calories, 315 grams of carbs, right around 80 grams of fat, and about 210 grams of protein. Again, I'm not set in stone on those numbers, so they can fluctuate, but generally speaking, that's around what I try to get. Sometimes my protein is going to be higher, sometimes my carbs will be higher, lower. They're going to fluctuate a little bit. Again, it makes dieting a lot easier because I'm not set in stone. I don't freak out. So to give you an idea for yesterday, I don't think I ate enough yesterday, but to give you a rough idea, yeah, so I definitely didn't eat enough yesterday. There's where you have my numbers here. It was a non-training day yesterday. I don't try to fluctuate my intake off non-training days, but sometimes this just happens. But then again, I compensate on other days and overeat in some cases. And 2,800 is the maximum I want to go. So I'd probably say I try to hit more 2,600 or 2,700. My activity level is really low. I know you guys see me training and I have a fitness channel. But regards to training in the morning, that's pretty much my only activity through the day. I've been trying to do about 30 minutes walking on the treadmill that we have at work each day, so that's helping a little bit. But right now, for my activity level and my age level, this is around maintenance for me. I'm going to slowly start decreasing this in the future in the next couple weeks, so I'll do a video on that as well. But I'm starting to ramble, so check out the clips. I'll give you some feedback on the Inzer belt as well as my form, as it kind of pissed me off today. But in the meantime, everybody, I appreciate you watching. And I'm going to say it again at the end of the workout clip, but stay big. All right, so let's go. First set here ever using the Inzer belt on squats. I did a heavy, somewhat high volume workout the other day for legs on Monday, so I wanted to take it a little bit easier today, as I will also be doing deadlifts in the belt. Just using 315 here, doing 3 sets of 5. Not really too heavy of a weight, but also heavy enough that maybe a belt should be used. I was really just looking forward to see how this felt. I also didn't want to go too heavy on this because, as many people noticed, the Inzer belt takes some getting used to and also breaking in, as it's very stiff initially. However, with this, I find it did dig in a little bit to my lower ribs as well as my upper hips, but it wasn't anything that was too uncomfortable. Over time, I think it'll get more comfortable. I didn't notice any bruising like a lot of people do. Now, I tried to get different angles on all sets of squats. On this one, I wasn't really happy with my form. I tend to be leaning forward a little bit more than I'd like to as I push up, so I think I'm pushing a little bit more from the balls of my feet rather than sitting back on my heels and pushing up. So again, this is just something I'm going to work on. On my left set here, I kind of get a behind view, so if you really like looking at white man's booties and small calves, this is going to be your clip. But again, felt really comfortable, wasn't too heavy, looking forward to upping the weight on this. So after those 3 sets of squats, I moved on to 3 sets of deadlifts, not using overly heavy weight, using 405 pounds here, 3 sets of 5, using my New Balance Minimus shoes, which are flat shoes, as well as liquid grip or liquid chalk. Don't want to use straps on this weight only because I can handle it without too much of an issue. If you want to see my opinion on straps and you haven't seen my video, consider this a shameless plug for you to go check out that video that I did yesterday. Now on this, I'm thinking in my mind that I want to sit back, keep my hips down, although it doesn't really appear that that happens. So again, just more room for improvement here. As you can see, I'm trying to set myself accordingly. One of the issues I have is really creating that arch in my lower back. You'll notice it in squats, you'll notice it on these deadlifts, you'll also notice it on my bench, even though I try to set up appropriately. It's something I'm having a lot of issues with, but again, for me, that's more motivation going forward. So here's the last set. As far as the Inzer belt goes, it was very comfortable. I didn't find that it dug in too much. I could probably tighten it one more notch, but I didn't want to go too tight with the risk of not being able to breathe too well. And again, just trying to break it in. So in the upcoming weeks, I'll continue to increase weight, continue to try to break it in, and continue to try to stay big. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.